begin first by thanking everyone about Cavite for allowing us and giving us the opportunity to present to you guys today. Before I hand over the floor to my business partner and co-founder, Michael Baez, who's really the brains behind all our projects, I wanted to first thank all of you for allowing us to be here and to express how excited we really are to be, speaking to the top sellers of Cavite. In fact, we at 650 Allied are very, very bullish when it comes to Cavite. We think the future is in Cavite. We think there's a lot of room for growth. And that's why we started it in Cavite. Our first project was in Cavite. Our current project is in Cavite. And the next project that we have is still in Cavite. Right? So we look forward to working with all of you. And I'm sure that opportunity will come. Lastly, I want to tell you a little bit. My partner Mike will really explain to you who we are, what we do, and why we believe in ourselves. But the one thing I wanted to highlight is who 650 Allied really is. At the end of the day, we're new developers. Right? And what does a new developer mean? A new developer means we're not as big yet as Ayala, SM, Megawine. And what does that mean? Does that mean we're small time? No, that actually does not. What it means is we have to work twice as hard. We have to create homes twice as beautiful and twice as amazing so that we can compete with the big developers such as SM and Ayala. So hopefully, through this presentation, we can show you the type of homes we build, the type of company we are, and how we can confidently put our name and our brand into each of our houses. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my business partner and co-founder, Michael Baez. And before I hand it to him, I want to invite all of you, hopefully, there comes a time when we can do it individually and in person. But if ever you want to come visit the site, please do so. Our doors are always open and we look forward to welcoming you. So without further ado, thank you very much. And I introduce to you Michael Baez.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me and see the screen, Shara? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, everybody, for having us here. Congratulations to Rebap for the 16th anniversary. And we're here to talk about our story today and hopefully show you a little bit about our projects. I'd like to start with a brief introduction of the company. Well, actually, by myself first. My name is Michael Baez. I lead the construction arm of 650 Allied. I want to start with a brief introduction of the company or a story. So, Rico and I, we were both very lucky to have been educated abroad, and having seen the best of what first world countries have to offer, it was our dream to take a piece of this back home and offer it to our fellow Filipinos. In fact, one of the first things I have observed when I first got back from the US, I'm an engineer myself, is that a lot of the houses and housing complexes here are very poorly designed. When I first entered into real estate, one of my first roles was actually in sales and marketing. And I observed the difficulty of, or I guess the embarrassment of sellers and brokers alike when the turnover for the client happens, and let's say the client did not get what he or she was expecting, a turnover, and he or she was disappointed. Nakakahiya, diba? So you start off with being best friends with your clients, and then at the end, mortal enemies na kayo. So we founded this company whose mission it is to democratize better homes for all Filipinos. And we do this by bringing the best ideas from abroad and building them right here in the Philippines. So yes, we are a startup company. We've only been around for about 3 years. And in those 3 years, I want to share with you our tremendous story of growth. So in those 3 years, we've worked on 3 projects, going from a contractor to a full-fledged developer. We did those in 3 steps. So as you can see in the slide, this 2019 was when we started. Our first project was in Tansa actually, and we built 200 homes as a house contractor, not as a developer yet. Our second project is when we JV'd and this is where we got a taste of being a developer. We did the land development, we did design and build our own houses, and this is starting in 2020 and then presently 2021. And thirdly, our pipeline project, which is incoming Q1 of 2022, that's next year. It will be about 320 townhomes, which will be in Tansa, for a price point of probably 1.8 to 2 million. To introduce to you 650 Allied, our company, I want to show you our vision behind our most current project, Laverne Residences. So Laverne is in the heart of Bacoor, right? Bacoor is the first city out of Metro Manila going south. So we took a parcel of land, about 7,000 square meters. We did all of the land development. In exchange, because this is a JV, we got half of the lots back, With those lots, we designed and built our own houses in design. So the houses that you see in this photo are some of those, right? We actually have 3 model houses. This started in July 2020, and today we are about 75% sold. Given the pandemic, I think those are very encouraging numbers. So we have 3 model units, as I have mentioned. But what I want to share with you is really one of my biggest frustrations with affordable housing in the Philippines is really, I think, the lack of clear imagination when you drive around the housing communities in Cavite. Developers, they just copy each other. Why? Because it sells naman, diba? There's no need to improve as much, right? There's no need to innovate. But honestly, in my mind, in our minds, a good product should be able to sell itself. It shouldn't be hard marketing. Money or income should rather be a byproduct of a job well done. One of the greatest minds of our century, Jack Ma, said, don't compete on price, compete in innovation. And I understood this in 2 ways, which are sacred to me. First is don't compromise on quality and design. That's number 1. Number 2 is always deliver what you promise. So these are really behind the inspiration behind our 3 model homes in Laverne. And we want to make sure that these translate into our builds for all of our future projects. Before I show you, the model unit or get into the details, I want to ask the audience, have you ever been disappointed when someone promised you something and let's say gave you something else? If the answer is yes, then you are what we call the Monday Lisa. You were promised a Mona Lisa, but you got a Monday Lisa instead. In other words, expectation did not meet reality. In 650 Homes, not only do we imagine more for the Filipino homeowner, we deliver on that promise. So the 3 model houses is really, in a nutshell, is really just a large, larger, and largest. They're all 3 bedrooms. Actually, 1 has a maid's room pala, so 4 bedrooms in isa, and then 2 bathrooms. Before we get into that, right, I want to give you an example of the quality of our homes. And I'll do that by showing you a digital twin that we have created of the Isabel model. But before I get into that, let me tell you what a scary time 2020 is for us developers and for everybody here, because it was the pandemic. During the pandemic, we were all, no one saw that coming, right? So we started the subdivision in July 2020. We were building, we knew how to build. We were very scared because we weren't sure how we were going to showcase this in the market, because nobody was leaving their house. Everybody was scared of COVID. So we were looking for ways to market it. So everybody, all the developers, everybody started going to Facebook Marketplace, YouTube, Facebook ads, doing boosting, creating websites, but we needed something else. So we decided to invest in technology which would help us create a digital replica or virtual tour of this property, an exact one. So that's how I want to present to you today the Isabel model, And because we have limited time, that's probably the only thing I'll show you. So now, from the comfort of your own mobile or tablet or computer, you can actually view. But if I just send you a link, you can click on the link, open it up, and then you can view it from there already, no? And you can look around. This is, in here you'll see it, it will be a video, but this is really kind of like interactive. You can look around and move around like a 360 photo, but this one is a 360 virtual tour, no? So let me play this video of the virtual tour in action, right? Of the model house we have built. This is what I love about this technology. It captures the space perfectly, the light, the proportions, the color. It's also interactive, so you can walk around, look up or down, left and right. Diba? By just clicking on the circles, you can also walk around. As we walk through the homes, I want you to observe one thing, and that everything that you see here, the materials used, the colors, is how exactly we deliver it at turnover. There's no surprises here. In other words, we deliver on our promise by making sure that what is shown here is not hanggang brochure lang, no? Hindi, walang switch and date. So what you see is what you get minus the furniture. And this is what we tell of our clients. This is how confident we are of the quality of our homes that we build. We deliver, you know, a lot of the materials that we use here are materials that are used in 20 million homes. But we just take some of those best-in-class materials and use it on this home. For example, the countertop that you see here, those are fireproof, stain-proof, scratch-proof. They're actually imported from Italy. They are higher, more expensive than marble and quartz, no? But we use them right here in this project. Why? Because when we design homes, we know, for example, that Filipinos love to eat and dine and have guests over. So we want to make the kitchen the focal point of the house. Not lang yung parang iba nakikita mo na parang yung kitchen nasa sulok na lang, parang hindi masyado napag-isipan, diba? So now what's really happened is that we have this best-in-class materials in the mid-range homes. And by doing that, you know, now the president of a company who might live in Rockwell eating steak for dinner, preparing it on this sintered stone countertop, is eating on the same kind of countertop as, let's say, the OFW seaman or the locally employed person who is a working class Filipino who is preparing dinner for their house on the same kind of countertop. No? So by doing that, we have made more accessible, better homes to the working class Filipino. And that is 650 Allied's dream come true, right? So as we walk around the house, from the doors, the size of the doors, the design of the doors, the stairs, the bamboo flooring you will see there. You're looking at it now, the handrails, everything is customized, even the colors, no? So we want to build homes that have character, updated architecture, style. We want these homes in these times to be Instagrammable. Maybe you're working from home, maybe you do a lot of Zoom. You want your background to be nice, diba? This is how we want all of our homes to be. And whether it is a 2 million home, 5 million home, 7 million home, it doesn't matter to us. We believe all homes should be created and should be properly designed and executed. But you might ask me today, sir, what is the difference between you and other developers, diba? They can buy some of these same materials sa, you know, sa market, you know, if they're readily available. I'm sure the big developers have the resources to be able to do that. Well, what really sets us apart from everybody is that we do all of this in-house. So what it means is that we are not only a developer, we actually did the architectural design for this, the interior design for this. We built the homes ourselves. We did the digital tour ourselves also. We roll it up in one package, and that's us. No, that's how much hard work and time we put into each house, no? And that's really our advantage. To be able to do all of these things in-house enables us to control the cost and you know, the time, no, for our builds. And what is really more important is that by doing it in-house, we are able to add value and character to the home in a way that others are not easily able to. And we understand, for example, that buying a house is a big ticket item for OFWs or locally based Filipinos. this is not just something you bought somewhere. This is something they will be living in for the next 10 years, or maybe they took a 30-year mortgage on this, right? Not only, when one buys a 650 home, we want Filipinos to feel their hard-earned money. And in this way, we're not only delivering our promise, but we're also redefining the concept of a Filipino home. We are well aware that construction is just one part of the equation and selling is the other half. So we wanted to make sure that we reach out to you, present our project, and partner with you guys, and with your buy-in, we can take action and democratize better homes for all Filipinos. So that's all the time I have today on this, and we'll open. I think we'll open the floor up now for Q&A.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Sir Mike. Before we proceed to the Q&A portion, so good. Ayan. Let me thank you first, Sir Elvis, Secretary, Sir Elvis. Thank you for inviting us here. Sir Jerry, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Ayan. Thank you everyone, and for inviting us celebrate your 16th anniversary. So one more time, I'm gonna present some FAQs for 650ality. By the way, good morning everyone, and good morning Habay Cavite. So I'm Rochelle Padilla, and I'm the sales associate here in 650ality. So yun. Maybe you're excited na dun sa presentation ni Sir Mike. So let me give you a few points for the FAQs. Usually, yun yung mga talagang iniintay ng mga brokers natin. Yun yung mga talagang information that talagang inaano naman. See? So, yun. For the pricing, of course, since na-excite kayo masyado dun sa presentation with our model units, ang pricing natin is, I'm gonna give you three highlights on that. First is, I'm happy to announce that we have the biggest discount ever, which is the 700.
Sorry, Rochelle. Mike, I think you might have to continue with the presentation. Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Rico, sorry. Yeah.
No worries. So can you change the slide, please? Thank you. Go ahead, Rochelle.
Ayan. For the pricing again, I'm happy to announce that we have the biggest discount ever for this year, which is 780,000. So the second is, of course, some of the brokers, especially in Cavite, nakaka-encounter kayo ng mga buyers, di ba, na talagang looking for to move in as fast as they could. So we have the RFO units and the non-RFO. For the RFO units, of course, they have to just pay the 10% bullet payment, equity na 10 months. So
Okay.
there.
Thank you, Rochelle. Can I just add a little bit more to highlight what we have there? So we started out with 21.5 units, 21 units, of which we only have 6 left, right? From the 6, we have 2 options of houses, right? RFO and non-RFO. So what's the difference? If you have a buyer that wants to move in right away, then you would introduce them to the RFO unit. So that's a 700,000 roughly down payment, then you can move as soon as possible. Now for a buyer that wants to look for terms, alam mo naman, madaming mga buyers dyan na gustong terms, we give up to 10 months, right? We give up to 10 months. And for those units, you would give the non-RFO unit. So I think there's a down payment of about 450,000, and then you have 10 months to pay the remaining balance. So those are our 2 pricing options. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Rochelle at any time. Go ahead, Rochelle, the next topic.
Yes, thank you for that, Sir Rico. And, of course, some of you are asking na, no, kung pag-ibig ba to, ganyan. So, by the way, our financing institutions are through bank financing. So, there we present to you the 4 banks that we have been partnering with: China Trust, Bank of the Philippines Islands, meron tayong 4 options for the bank home loan na pagpapasukan sa kanila. Papasok natin sila sa 4 banks, of course. Kung sino yung fastest approval, doon natin sila i-endorse sa bank na yun. And then, ano ba yung mga question ko po sa inyo is, ano ba yung mga types of or buyers na kailangan natin for
Before we get into the buyers, Rochelle, our whole point of showing you our partner banks is to show you guys that our goal here is to provide options for our buyers. No? So, if a buyer comes and is interested to take a home loan, we in 650 Ally will send their application to these 4 partner banks. And it doesn't matter who the first one to respond is, all will respond naman. But we give the buyer the opportunity to choose ano ba yung mga banks na gusto nilang, where do they want to get their loan from. But what does that mean for you, mga partner brokers namin? Diba? It's rest assured na pag nagdala kayo ng quality buyer sa amin, what that means is kami na bahala to send the application to not 1, but 4 banks. So rest assured, and that's why we partnered with 4 of the top banks in the Philippines to really give our buyers the options on how they want to purchase them.
That for our accredited banks, we have up to 90% loanable of the selling price. And also, for BPI, we also have a facility with them to be able to do a pre-approval. So a pre-approval means that when the buyer is interested, hindi niya kailangan mag-reserve pa, kunyari, ng 50,000. Pwede siya mag-present ng full documents niya for the loan first and sign the pre-approval loan application form. And in about 15 days, we can get a pre-approval from the bank to know if ma-approve siya for that amount of the loan, so that maiwasan natin yung magre-reserve siya tapos hindi pala ma-approve later on.
Ayun. So, to wrap it up, as for Sir Mike, madali tayo makakuha ng mga buyers for Laverne. Ayan. So, to give you the last page of our presentation, of course, before we end, ano yung mga natin, sample ng profile ng mga buyers na we will look into. So, ayan. Ano ba yung nakikita nyo dyan? Diba? So, of course, for the banking institution, they are looking for buyers, of course, quality buyers na first, they have the high income, second, employment, kumbaga locally employed, because they find it parang less risky on their part to approve. So there, makikita mo kung ilang years of employment na rin sila. So dyan, mapo-profile check na natin si client na quality talaga siya and they got the higher chance of the loan approval with the banks. So, yeah. Any questions po? I'm opening up, sorry.
Actually, you know what, Rochelle, I have one question which I think is the most important question to our partner brokers here. What is our commission by? I think that's the most important. So, as new developers as well,
a general membership meeting given this 15th day of October 2021 by Zoom signed. CRD Cecil Mendoza, Chapter President, CRD Marina Gonzalez, Vice President for External, and signed CRD LD Saligumba Chapter Secretary. Congratulations and thank you very much, 650 Ally.
Thank you very much.
See you around, sir.
Mag-subscribe, ring the bell, mag-like, comment, at i-share mo na.